What's going on, everyone? I hope you're having a terrific day. It's a nice, chilled day out today. And we're going to talk about how to be happy. And you might be thinking, why do you want to talk about that? Well, don't you all want to be happy? If you're suffering, don't you want to be happy? Don't we all want to be happy? Isn't that kind of why we're all here? Is to try and be happy, is to figure out how to be happy, the pursuit of happiness. It's kind of in our constitution. So I want to talk about that. And I want to propose a controversial concept. That if you want to be happy, accept your suffering. And you might be thinking, what? You were going to tell me how to be happy. Now you're telling me to accept my suffering? I'm not following you. If that's what you're thinking, I understand, but stay with me on this thought for a little bit. If I were to ask you, what do you want to do with your life? You might propose to me, I want to help people. I want to do something meaningful. In fact, when you ask millennials why they're the most unhappy in their job force, it says they will say, because I don't feel like I'm making an impact. I don't feel like I'm making a difference in the world. I don't feel like I'm helping anyone or doing anything. We're just collecting a paycheck. That's why a lot of people feel not satisfied in their jobs. To which I would respond to that statement, well, what do you want to help people do? You see, if you wanted to be like a fitness instructor, you'd have to get in shape, right? It would be hard to instruct someone on something you haven't done. And getting into shape would require pain. Have you ever tried to get in shape? It isn't fun. I tore one of my muscles. It's very painful. Recovery can be painful. Having injuries can be painful. Waking up at 5 a.m. can be painful. Having to eat the right thing can be very painful. Having to be consistent day in, day out, it can be pretty painful. Or what if you wanted to be like a therapist or something and help people who are suffering with suicidal tendencies? Don't you think the best person to help someone like that would be someone who suffers with that as well? That has learned to overcome that, has learned to live with that? I would think that my aunt said this when she was alive. She says, the best cops are cops with the most troubled backgrounds. The broken cops are often the best cops. That really stuck with me. You see, change comes from pain. If you really want to make a difference in the world, you have to be able to relate to someone. You have to be able to meet someone where they're at, in their pain and in their suffering. And that isn't easy, because that means you would have had to have gone through it yourself. Yet we act as if life should be easy for us. And we should never have to suffer, and we should never have to experience anything difficult. But when we really get down to it, our heroes are the ones who have broken pasts, who have suffered and have overcame that, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Those are the people we all look up to, yet none of us want to be that person because of what it requires us to go through to get to that place of depth and substance. It requires a tremendous amount of pain. But that is where the most fulfilling and rewarding lives come from. That is where true happiness comes from. And I would even propose the crazy thought that happiness isn't really what you're after, it's joy. Now, happiness is very fleeting. You could buy a new iPhone and be happy. You could buy a new car and be happy. You could get promoted and be happy. You could find a new significant other and be happy. Now, see, but joy is, if you don't have all that stuff, yet you still have a presence and a peace and a vibe and a mystery about you that is infectious, that people want to be around. That is joy. Joy is much deeper than happiness, because you can't buy joy. You can't take it away from someone that has it. So I would say that happiness is what we think we want, but joy is the real deal, what we truly want. If our ego wants happiness and consumption and money and profit and fame and all the egotistical things, then the true self, if we really get down to know the truly who we are beneath the ego, what we really want is joy and meaning. And to truly change the world requires you to experience pain and suffering. You think about it, what if you got everything you wanted? You never had to experience pain, which is impossible, because someday we'll all die. And that's pain. That's frightening. That's terrifying. Some of us will experience very little pain until then, and some of us will experience a lot. And it's kind of random, and you can't really decide who you're going to be. It's just really random a lot of times what people experience and go through. A lot of it is. And it can be very difficult to find joy in hard situations, but it is possible. I've seen people do it. I've done it. It isn't easy. It's a daily practice. In fact, I've built an entire practice around that, how to live amidst the suffering. But I'm telling you, that is where joy is found, because that's where your true meaning is found. So, to answer the question, if you want to get happy, go buy a new iPhone. Go to the store. Go get drunk with friends. Go download Tinder and hook up with a bunch of people. There's a ton of ways to be happy. Happiness isn't even that hard to find. You wake up in the morning, coffee makes you happy. You can have a temporary relief from your suffering and be happy. But is that what you really want deep down? I would think joy. I would propose that joy is what people really want. And I think that's what the true self wants when we dig past the ego. It's purpose, and it's joy, it's depth. You can't buy that. You have to earn that through suffering. Thank you for watching. Make sure to smash the subscribe button. I'll talk to you later. Peace.